Okay, 2 lands and an artifact again up front. That's what happened to us last time. Oh no. Both of them again. This is exactly what happened to us last time, even down to the broken wings. And we missed the land drop again. Remember what I said about sometimes you log on to the arena and you get the sense that it's just not going to let you do anything for the day. And no land again. This is exactly what last match looked like. It's like I quit too early, like it wasn't enough I was going to lose in 5 turns. That since I left the game, it must do me to the exact same kind of situation the next time. Okay. I can't use Broken Wings on anything. I can bring down 1 creature to deal with 5. Oh, look at that. Was that a 4-turn kill? Okay, what's left for us to do here? Anything at all? Nope, that's pretty much it, right? So if I stay till the to the bitter end, Magic, will you let me have some lands next turn? I'll even go in and bump up my land by 1, just for you. There we go. I suppose I could have used Broken Wings on the enchantment, but it would have just prolonged the inevitable. You can't miss 2 land drops. Alright. No sign of the artifact and 4 lands. It seems like the game is apologizing. Or maybe if it's not apologizing, I did put 1 more scry land in. So maybe it's just accepting that we'll do some normal rounds for a change. Magic really doesn't seem to like it if you go against their prescribed 24 lands per deck. If you go less, they seem to want to punish you. Well, I'm facing my twin. Predatory Worm. And this is what happens with green when the green gets to go first. They get an army that builds up fast. And he still manages with that to kill him a giant. That's what I was afraid of. That's like the perfect ramp. So what can we do? We can Get rid of that at least. And that's it. Might as well attack. Got nothing better to do. See something. Yeah, okay. Another worm. And another Garrick's Uprising. Dang. Well, he's just firing on all cylinders, isn't he? Okay, so I need to kill the Nessian Horn Beetle. I really do. Okay, next, I don't have enough to do both. You just say that because you're winning. So let's get rid of one of his card draw. Another creature should have figured. But it's not power 4 or more just yet. Why would he attack with that one? And why do you bother pumping him up? I think he's just having fun. Okay, so we give him Deathtouch. There's going to be no surprise about it. Pass the turn. He has enough to kill us. He thinks. And he's showing us up front. So we're going to go to the blockers. We need to take him out because he can pump him up a lot. And then thwart the enemy. He did a little premature good game. He thought he had me. We're still in it. He likes his worms, doesn't he? He's got us outmatched on the land already, thanks to the card draw. Okay, we kind of don't have much choice here, do we? We're blocked there, we're blocked there. And I'm all tapped out. And I didn't get a creature. So I put one extra land in, and what do I get on my one free land draw? The tapped land that I put in, with more land behind it. So, do I keep the extra land in or not? Because all I did was flood out a land right when I needed a creature. I was going to take a land out of here out of spite, despite Magic, since it's been so mean to me the last 3 or 4 turns. But I forgot. So we'll make do with what we have. White's still doing their mono white aggro life linker thing. And they might have the right spells to get rid of the Mirror Shield. But we're more of a having a trouble in that the one creature we have is the expensive one. We only have 2 expensive creatures, so of course Magic gives me one of the 2 most expensive creatures in my entire deck up front. Because why not? In the meantime, White just barrels along. Happy, content. Only 2 mana, that's all they need. They don't need anything more than that. They'll kill me in 2 more turns. I still don't have a single creature I can put out. Yeah, that was really necessary. Okay, this is what happens when the deal never goes your way. Out of everything that I needed, I did not need 1 more land finally on top of that. Alright, we're going to have to tweak the deck. Okay, we are here considering a tweak to the deck because what we're coming across is we're having land problems no matter what we do. No matter if I take a land in or take a land out, we either get too little or we get flooded. And in the meantime, the enemy is killing us. So, we'll add in some removal. Pharika's Libation, so they have to sacrifice an opponent. That helps us face indestructible stuff. And then we'll just do a little destroy thing. And, you know, we'll have something to take out the small ones. And we'll do Heartless Act. So it doesn't matter if it's small or not. We can have another chance to get rid of it. So with that, that puts us up to 65 cards. That doesn't give me any extra creatures. It just gives me some removal. So do I want to take anything out? No. Actually, I don't. I love the stuff that's in there. It's fulfilling its purpose. When I get it down, it works right. So we'll just add those 3 little pieces of early destruction, and we should get 1 or 2 of them when we need them. And maybe that'll help us to survive. The question is, what happens with our land situation? I put 1 more in, so let's say 18, 20, 24. But we got 65 cards total now. We're still at average 2.7. So we're going to try this. We're starting peacefully enough. We'll do the trade. The trick to taking out red aggro is hit them early. Stop all their early initiatives. This is our new card, which we put in specifically because we keep coming up against very fast decks. I don't really want to do anything against 1/1s. So let's just stick down a blocker for starters and see if they have removal. Or see if that's going to hold them off for a second. He's probably got removal. He's spending a long time thinking about it. Does that give us the time we needed to get our defenses in order? We've got a nice little trick we can do with Hunted Nightmare. They get to choose where the Deathtouch counter goes, but if they don't pay attention and they put a Deathtouch counter and they don't understand what Mirror Shield is, we could block and destroy anything that they send at us that they gave Deathtouch to. I can't stop that, so he should know enough to come in and... why didn't he come in and swing? Okay, that's not the green source, so not gonna help me. Let's go ahead and do this. Who are you going to give the Deathtouch to? One of the ogres? Or one of the tokens? If he gives it to an ogre, he doesn't understand the Mirror Shield effect. He's not putting the pieces together yet. Okay, so he probably understands what's going on. He might be willing to use that guy as just a blocker. You gonna attack with the 5-1? I would. Oh, he's attacking with all of them. He might have a buff. Okay. So let's get rid of him now. We'll get rid of the guy with the Deathtouch. And let's get rid of the chunk one. Okay, he didn't have anything, so I should have blocked the other way, but that's okay, because we have this. I'm not going to attack yet. He's still got cards, and we're kind of out of ammo for the most part. Excellent. Okay, we've got a little bit of protection now. This is a sorcery, so it didn't help us with that particular instant fighting situation. But he's not going to be able to get past a hexproof creature with toughness of 7. And I don't think he has anything that'll give him an increased power of 4. And we've already kind of increased the odds of our survival, because slowing down mono red this much to make them think about things generally means they're going to have trouble. I am finally ready for... I was going to say I'm ready for one more land, but looks like it worked. Okay, so we added in the removal and it showed up early in the game and it did its job, so maybe that tweak finally fixes our deck problems. Alright, in case I split up this video into 2 parts and you're just joining us, this is Travis at Tpull's Corner, and we tweaked the deck a little bit. The deck's name is called the Gift of Deathtouch, because sometimes we give our opponents Deathtouch. And it may seem a little counterintuitive, but if we can get the right cards out, it'll all start to make sense. We don't actually have a lot of creatures that have Deathtouch. This is basically the only one for the most part. And they gave me my most expensive card first, again. And this is the new way that black is ramping. Instead of creatures, they can sacrifice artifacts now. And so he's going to try and equip it and create a pleasure token. Sorry, pleasure token. A treasure token. Magic doesn't have pleasure tokens yet, but I should not be giving them ideas. So when he equips that, he's going to be able to create the treasure. He'll create 2 treasures each time. So he's probably not going to want to trade, but it does me no good to hang back when he can dodge me anyway. He's really gone in on the treasure theme, hasn't he? That's going to give him a lot of mana to do lots of things. So as long as we're not going to be able to block him, we need to build up something to counter that. And that's going to come in the form of creatures. He can continue stacking and make treasure after treasure. There comes Toski. Oh, can I block that now? Oh, he didn't equip it. Okay, so we'll trade. Alright, and now I should be able to block Toski with that, unless he equips him with the do not block thing. Unfortunately, the Deathtouch stuff I have does no good. And Spirit Shield doesn't work because it destroys, and he's got indestructible. So I do have one other way to do things. And that's to use one of the cards that I just tweaked the deck with to make him sacrifice a creature. But that's only one card in the deck. So I may be in trouble here, because he's going to get treasure and a card draw. Which makes for a fun little deck, actually. And these types of things are based to work against creatures without indestructible, because there are still relatively few indestructible creatures. However, since he's got hexproof, they might be able to get rid of the demonic embrace itself, or disenchant the mirror shield. But while he's got the mirror shield on, it should work. He doesn't have lifelink as of yet, so can we outpace him? We're not going to be doing much of anything if we got to sit here and wait for him to think. There we go. Just let it happen. I know it's hard. You don't want people to come hit you in the face. Another treasure artifact. Okay, so what are the rules for the blockage? Can't be blocked as long as its power is 3 or less. So if he pumps it up one more, I could block it. So lots of cards, lots of treasure. What can you do with it? Can you stop me? Okay, you can destroy that. But let's see. I can bring it right back. Cost me 3 and I have to discard something. But I can do more damage than you can faster right now. And this is one of the drawbacks of just having one main creature and just piling a whole bunch of stuff on it. I know I'm kind of doing the same thing right now myself. Oh, got a little life touch going on there. Life link. So now he's starting to bring the other parts of this deck into play, finally. He's been holding on to these. He decided he can't destroy anybody. He might still have removal. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I should still be good for one more attack here without needing to have him back to block. I'm all tapped out though. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, what did he do? Gets Deathtouch. That's 7, right? So I have to do that. 2, 4, 5, 6. He doesn't have trample though, right? Just the Deathtouch. That's fine. I get 3 cards. He gets how many? 2, 3, 4. He gets 4 cards. That's fine. As long as he doesn't destroy Demonic Embrace. Because now, I can do this. Bam! Okay. Well, it gave me one of the more expensive cards. But it also gave me one of the newer parts of removal that I have for the early deck. So let's give it a try. See if it's going to be nice with the lands or not. Alright, we'll go ahead and get the second green for now. And bring down our Mirror Shield. And he may not have any other green in his deck, but he knew about the treasures giving him the ability to cultivate, which is nice. Nice for him. And I got the 2 most powerful cards in my deck dealt first to me. Again. Whereas he gets a nice little 3-drop. Alright, just get rid of it now. Okay, let's protect that. Get down the second source of black mana for when we need that. Go ahead and attack, because this deck usually doesn't have a whole lot of haste, although we might have a Freet. The Freet's got, what, double strike? It doesn't have haste, does it? So we'll get 3 copies of Double Vision, is that right? Oh, he's duplicating Mirror Shield. Interesting choice. Okay. Well, I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to attack. He's probably going to equip Mirror Shield, and maybe we'll have a way to do an instant speed disappointment. Oh, he blocked it. Why would you block 2 points of damage so early? Is he going to bring everything back out? Oh, lovely. Yeah. Save the dragon, huh? It's mostly tapped out though, right? Okay, so we can do 6 points to your 4. Okay, this should take care of things. Okay, so, excuse me, the one regret that I have so far is we've only really been able to get the Spirit Shield on one source and actually show what we wanted to do by giving other creatures Deathtouch and things of that sort. So, the deck seems to be holding its own now with the tweaks that we made. But I put together a particular concept, and it's proving difficult to actually get it to show that concept a lot of the time. Although we are still managing every now and then to put Deathtouch on one of our creatures and take them out. Okay, let's do a little test and see if Red's got something to take us out. There's usually no reason for Red to hold back when it's got removal. And it's got a lot of direct damage choices. And if you got something here to buff it up, I want to find out now. I want you to use it now. I'm going to find out if it saves your creature or if they just mutually kill each other. Okay. So you still die. Good! I like that part. Okay, Oathsworn Knight is a little bit different from other creatures. When damage is dealt to him, it's not dealt in the normal way. You just prevent the damage and remove one of the +1 counters from it. The drawback is he has to attack every turn, as long as he's not pacified or something. So we can salvage some of that and make it safe for him to get through sometimes. The worst thing is to have him be blocked by 1/1 creatures, actually. I'm glad they chose not to block him. But if I attack with both, he'll get through unscathed and do the full 4 points of damage, while the prized unicorn takes on all the damage. Red's trying to stay aggressive and only attack. Kind of surprised that he doesn't have anything else to do. Usually mono red goblin decks are very cheap in their spell costs. There we go. Yeah, you can do something. Okay, so what do we do next? He can do a little bit of damage. Let's do this. He doesn't have any mana, so he has to block the prized unicorn. We're not going to give him a choice. It would have been nice to have a Deathtouch counter up here, We're not there yet. We could have got rid of the Molten Ravager real easy. But we're keeping the pressure up on him. I'll trade Canopy Stalker for the Molten Ravager. Ooh, this could be fun. Really? Can you still kill him with what you got left? You can. Okay, you're going to kill him ahead of time? No. No, you're not. That takes care of one threat. Okay. Everybody has to block the unicorn. Nope. Can't do that. Oh wait, you can actually, right? Canopy Stopper, they can choose to block one there. Okay, so he's gonna he's gonna decide maybe he wants to kill Canopy Stalker. Or does Prize Unicorn take precedence? Down to 4 life. I got no blockers. He's got 4 damage right now. Does he have something that he can do 7 damage with for only 4 mana? I don't think so. He could give +2 to everybody. That still only gets him up to what, 9? First strike is not the same as double strike. Okay, so... Okay, I was thinking, what is it I'm missing? I wasn't missing anything. Alright, so I think we're going to leave it there. I'll just make this comment. One of the basic themes of deck building, something to keep in mind, is when I first made the deck, and we'll go to the deck right now just to show you, is that I didn't quite include enough removal to take into account what my enemy was doing, and maybe to consider the meta. So those are 2 things. Oh, I think I only have 1 copy of this card right now. You find some prisoners. Good. We're dealing with a lot of artifacts, so that might come in handy. Anyway, the original version of the deck had 3 fewer black removal spells. And the current meta really favors the green tribal, the mono red goblin still, the mono white. So here this did pretty good just by putting in Eliminate, Heartless Act, and 1 copy of Farika's Libation. In our subsequent battles, we did pretty well, whether those particular cards were showcased or not. Sometimes they were and sometimes they weren't. We pretty much started winning for the most part, whereas before we had lost, because we put together, and by we I'm using the royal we meaning I, Travis, put together the concept of giving others the gift of Deathtouch so that we could kill them. And it's kind of a roundabout way of killing them. It's kind of a fun way to do things, and tried to match it up with making people block and give our blockers Deathtouch and stuff like that. But those were all my plans and my cards for what I wanted to do. So deck building 101, you always have to make sure, because all I had was Mortality Spear and Rabid Bite, basically, was mostly it. And maybe you want to count Broken Wings for the flyers. But I didn't have enough in there to take out my opponents for what they might be wanting to do to me. And they always get a turn after you do, and they get to do things too. And sometimes they get to do things faster than you, and sometimes they get to go first. As a matter of fact, I think most of the time they got to go first. So when you're building a deck for the first time, it's good to start with your concept and to build out what your ideal deck would be, and then stop to ask the question, okay, what's my enemy going to do to me whenever he gets a turn, And how can I build my deck to account for some of that and defend against some of that? And right now we're still going up against mostly creature decks, so adding in 3 more creature removal spells was pretty much all I needed to even things out and still keep the rest of the deck intact. So it did give me 65 cards instead of closer to 60, but you know, I'm winning, so we'll take it. So that's your advice. You know, that's a tip from your Uncle Larry. That's what I like to say. I do have an Uncle Larry myself. Maybe you do too. I don't want to call myself Uncle Travis to you guys. But in the meantime, I'll probably at some point do a deck building 101 kind of video to help out the newer players. In the meantime, like and subscribe and come on back, because there's always going to be a new deck around the corner. Have a good one.